All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the podcast. Here we have our guest, Tommy, and then our normal members, Audicy, Dannyminez, and Shadow Lego, and Sep.
Hey everybody.
Uh,
It's mine.
so I think, okay, whatever. So I think our
Wow.
first topic is just discuss, like, what is everyone up to lately? So I think Europe.
Who should go first? Okay,
Shadow.
Shadow, go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't actually been playing a lot of UHC recently, but recently there's been like this huge explosion of pending cases on the courtroom, so I've just been dealing with that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I haven't really had time to play UHC except on weekends lately, but yeah, I've just been kind of doing things, just working with the courtroom again, because I really have been slacking on that. So yeah.
I've actually been enjoying UHC more lately because I've been approaching a new philosophy for picking my games that I play in. First off, like, it may sound like pretentious, but I only play in like the recommended host games because I know I'm going to get a good experience out of that. And I also only play like small team games, like 2 or 3, because I just find that more enjoyable just playing with a small group of friends. And I don't play them as often, so that when I do play them, they're more exciting. And I've been enjoying it a lot more.
Yeah, like I've experienced the same thing. When I play less, I find I get more enjoyment out of them, Like,
Yep.
like, yeah.
I've basically just heard that that's what everyone seems to be doing, playing less, and I was getting a little bit burnt out for a bit, but just playing less now and stop playing captain's games so that my ears stop getting blown out my head every other day. And I also learned to stop taking UHC seriously, because it seems like it's just a lot more fun when you tower or maze or, that good
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Strip mine is always fun,
Yeah, strip mine is a good
games and
idea.
Getting banned.
X-raying, cool stuff.
Yeah, it seems like, judging by the amount of cases on the courtroom, people kind of taking that to heart. So, the next topic, should we move on?
Yeah, so you may have noticed that we haven't did a podcast last week due to some technical errors. So some of these things will be from 2 weeks ago, but they're still pretty relevant, so it's not that big of a deal. Our first topic is the announcement of the hosting committee.
Hype.
Hunter Wolf has pretty much just outlined everything that's gonna go on with it, and just get some more feedback before everything's set in stone.
Yeah,
I'm really
this-
looking forward to it.
It's been in the works for a while, but I'd really like to see it become a thing,
Yep.
But yeah.
So there's a couple big things about it. The first one being hosting guidelines and some sort of bans type system. And I think the whole point of that is just to encourage hosts to be fair when they're hosting and don't really abuse their powers and just host the game rather than messing it up. And there's also the recommended host system for the hosts that host really high quality games. They'll get recognized for that, and they'll get some extra benefits for that. And the host verification system, which is just a way to make sure that every host that is hosting can host a successful game, and they know what they're doing, and nothing too big will go wrong with the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, I think. So yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing how it plays out, I think.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the perks for the recommended host system?
I mean, what?
Like, who's going?
Well, what
Okay.
are the perks?
Go ahead, Tommy. You're next.
Well, that's the question. I agree with the perks he's got outlined right now, is that maybe the times they could host would be a little bit more lenient for recommended hosts, or maybe the time they could post ahead, which admittedly I personally think you should just be able to post at any time, and that's for anyone, but I don't know, maybe it would help if to have that as just one of the perks for a recommended host. I feel like they should really just give the recommended hosts a pretty sizable advantage over non-recommended, because yeah, it takes some time if you're a non-recommended host, and it's going to be a bit more difficult, but it also makes it a lot easier to have the recommended hosts get the time slots and, acknowledgement they deserve for actually being good hosts.
It also I find it gives more of an incentive for hosts to learn how to be good hosts, to practice practice and get better, because then they can host more and don't have all these restrictions on it. So yeah, I think overall it's definitely the way we should go.
All right. I'd say that's about covers the hosting committee.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really our only announcement recently. So I guess we'll move on to scenarios. Take it off, Tommy.
Alright, first off is Freebie by Mortimer. And the idea of this scenario is that at the start of the game, you are an invincible, resistance 5, and you can take any form of damage, anything, whatever it is, and for your first shot, you get a freebie. You don't take damage. You just get to skip the first hit.
I think this is a really, really good idea.
I like
a really good idea.
Really good idea, and then just leave it. You know, that's the perfect way to discuss something.
Well, it adds more strategy to the game. I mean, like, you have to think how to use this, and you have to be okay at PvE to not waste it.
Alright, if you really want me to talk about it, I'll talk about it. So, you know those awful moments when you're just messing around in a ravine, and then a creeper falls on your head, and you die?
Yep.
I hate that.
Well, with this, if you didn't take any damage before, you'll live.
But it doesn't really encourage people to I find with game modes recently, they encourage people to PvP too much. You know, like it should be more balanced in a way. Like everybody just gets full iron and leaves. I think this just kind of encourages that, which is why I don't think it should be like a main game mode. Because I find it's more fun if everybody like takes their time with the game and really gets what they can out of it, and just encouraging people to find people as soon as possible. Kind of just I don't know, it hurts that aspect of the game, I think. But,
has anybody here played a freebie game? Or
No, I don't think it's hosted yet.
No, I've played one. Which is, okay, yeah.
I feel like that's sort of a problem coming up. That
is that
there's
the new
all
game
these
modes
game
aren't
modes
actually
and
being hosted.
nobody hosts them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Well, I
no
think
scripts or
it's-
plugins.
I mean, Magic Course, I sort of just suck, but I'm not really one to play freebie game because the first time I just took fall damage a few minutes in, so...
Yeah, that's also an issue. It's kind of unbalanced. You know, like...
well, I mean, it's not
lucky.
unbalanced. You can't blame me for, kind of fucking sucking, but...
I mean, I think fall damage and stuff, it's very luck based, and I think that just kind of plays off that. I mean, luck is cool, but I think overall a UHC game should be fairly strategy based too. You know,
Well, UHC is ultimately have definitely lots of skill, but still a lot of luck.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good balance of the two, and you need to maintain that balance in order to make a good game mode. That's kind of what I'm learning about.
On to the next scenario. We have Best PvE by Dan's.
This looks like a really cool game mode.
And so at the beginning of the game, everyone is added to a list called the Best PvE list. And every 10 minutes, if you are still on that list, you'll be rewarded with 1 bonus heart, and you'll be given regen to fill that heart. But once you take damage, you are taken off that list, and the only way to get back on that list is by getting a kill.
No, this is a game mode that I think perfectly combines skill and luck because, maybe you got unlucky, took fall damage. Well, I mean, it's not luck, but, creeper drops on you, a skeleton hits you, and it shouldn't have, something like that. Go out PvP, kill someone, you're back on the list, and it's also nice in that, if you're just skilled in PvE itself, then, again, you stay on the list. So
yeah,
it's
but
nice
again,
mix.
this is one of those game modes where they encourage people, not to PvE. That's kind of one of my pet peeves, triple ores, cut clean, just encourage people to fight each other as soon as possible. I don't think that's a good way to go about making
I think
a good
it
game
generally
mode.
means you shouldn't take damage, but
Well,
Yeah, I know, but it means it encourages you to fight as soon as possible, because if you get off the list, which happens fairly often, I mean, we all take damage in caves, then you want to get a kill to get put back on the list. So I think it I don't know, it makes people more
I feel like
PvP orientated, So
this will encourage BTCing, because you could just stay in the cave, in a hole, for about the entire game, get like the 20 hearts or something, then come and fight, kill the last guy.
See, the way
I
I see this, you could play this two different ways. If you don't want to take damage and get the bonus hearts, you'll have to take like a more careful approach to caving. You won't be able to gear up as fast. Whereas if you just cave normally, and you can potentially get more loot faster, but you run the risk of taking damage quicker.
Yeah, that's a good way of viewing it.
Yeah.
So I think if you do just try to avoid taking damage, it will actually hinder the equipment that you get. So I think you got to find a good balance between that. And I think the only thing I can see being a nuisance is if you take damage early on, you won't be able to like get a kill as fast. So you'll be behind when everyone starts getting the bonus hearts.
Yeah. There's a lot of variables in this game mode that I think we can't really tell the whole like scope of how it's going to play out unless someone hosts a few games. So I think I'm going to withhold having an opinion on it until
I'll play it once
someone...
and take an opinion.
I think it was hosted privately.
Yeah, it was.
Was
Dan's
it?
hosted
I
it.
must have missed it.
Oh, there was a Reddit game hosted,
Oh,
like just public Reddit. I don't know how it went, but
This game,
Yeah,
game mode should. Wait, this should be hosted with compensation. Am I right?
no.
Shut up, Danny.
Shut up, Danny.
okay. So we got the next scenario. Balance
this one's
Healing
called...
by Edviin.
Alright, you do it then.
Well, I've been
Fine.
doing-
Go ahead.
Balanced healing.
Alright, when you eat a golden head, it heals different depending on your health. If you are at red, aka below 30%, they heal 4 hearts. If you are at yellow, aka above 30%, below 60%, they heal 3 hearts. And if you are at green, aka above 60%, they heal 2 hearts.
I like it.
I like this idea.
That
It
sounds
I think I
pretty
should
cool.
change it though. See, I think this just came to me, but I think that a better way to do this would be if you're at red, then it will heal 3, and then yellow heal 2, and then green heal 1. That way, it doesn't change the game too much, like the mechanics of healing. So you don't end up just snowballing if you get a lot of gold or whatever, right? So.
Am I
yeah,
wrong in thinking
I
that
don't know.
reversing the amount they heal would be better?
Oh,
Yes.
I'm gonna have
Because
to.
if you think about it, say you just kill a team, you're low health, and you're just making all these heads. You could, if you're at low health, they'll heal a lot, and you'll get right back up to the top. But if you're down low,
Yeah.
then it would encourage you to make apples and stuff, so you don't waste a head.
I like that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, actually, that's... I like that
I think
too.
that's pretty great. Yeah.
Well, before I form an opinion, I want to play one of each type, just to see how it works out.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
then we
that's-
get back
I think
to
if you
the
switched
same
it-
problem again, in that nobody hosts these.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Which
Post
is-
before
I
you
think-
post.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good rule. Host before you post.
Oh,
I think a lot of people just come up with ideas that are like super amazing and stuff, and then they don't host at all, and they didn't think it through.
Yeah, has
really well.
anyone seen King the SpongeBob Molehill hosted?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they come up with these crazy fucking ideas that nobody wants to put the effort into doing, and then it just kind of fades into obscurity, and then people kind of care less about like the whole scenario posts, so they don't really look into it at all. You know, like I mean, people just kind of waste that.
Yeah.
I find.
I've been waiting for like 3 months for King of the SpongeBob Molehill.
Me too, man. I
Yeah.
desperately want to play King of the SpongeBob
I think
Molehill.
it's time to go to the next
But-
scenario.
But this,
Okay.
So we got Dehydration by Jakekub, and in this game mode, in addition to having hunger, you now have a thirst level, and it looks like depending on the biome you're in, you can lose the thirst faster, and you can gain it back by drinking milk and possibly water bottles, and just adding an extra type of management in the game.
I like this game mode.
Yeah, it reminds me of Mindsy.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, at one point I actually thought of doing something like this and using the bubbles. In like,
But how would that work for actual like drowning?
well, that's the thing. I mean, you could just send like fake information saying that you are underwater. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I mean, like, say if you're actually underwater,
Maybe it'll fill up your bubbles if you go in water. I don't know.
I do like that it makes UHC even harder.
Yeah,
Something I enjoy.
We need more game modes like that, I think.
it just depends on how you can make it affect the game, because I think for things like this, you could just fill up a water bottle while caving. Unless you have to do something like milk, where you actually have to go to the surface.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you set it up.
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, water is quite common, so.
Yeah.
This is one of those things. There's so many game modes that try to speed the game up. You know, this is another one. This is one of the very few that actually slows the game down, and it's kind of nice.
Or maybe you can only fill a water bottle above a certain water level.
Yeah, and maybe you can only have one water bottle. I don't know.
Really, is it
Actually,
possible
no,
to make
I don't
it?
think there shouldn't be a limit, because
Yeah.
then you come into inventory management too. Like, do
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
extra
Is
water
it on
bottles?
stack? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it possible to script it so that when you take a water source, it from a water bottle, if you take a water source, it'll like actually just kill the water source,
Yeah,
so that you
probably do
can't
that.
just
Yeah,
so that you
that-
can't
that-
like take one bucket of water and then just fill up all your water.
Yeah, that I think that would be better. But yeah,
I feel-
if it's done that way, I'd like to see it hosted, because people are constantly looking for water sources, you know?
If you could make it so like you'd have to fill up a cauldron, maybe that'd work too. I like that.
Well, then again, you can just make an infinite source with 2 buckets.
That is
and
true.
it would-
Yeah.
All right. Next scenario.
This
Go ahead.
one seems kind of interesting. Like, it's trust items. Some of you may have seen it. Basically, the host gives certain abilities to items and basically just says, "Hey, trust me. Maybe this poison potion will poison me, then give me 4 golden apples to heal up with. Maybe this regen potion will actually spawn a ring of skeletons around me." It's sort of stuff like that. And it seems like an interesting game mode, but the problem I can see with it is I think how good it would be would vary on how good the host is, kind of like how Devil's Watches used to
Yeah,
be.
exactly. Like,
Biasness.
bias. But no, I think the Devil's... It's kind of like someone took starter items, Devil's Watches, and something like experimentation, and put it in a cauldron and mixed it up and
Made a devil
and
baby
came out
with
with
it.
and then came out this
Yeah.
Like,
for
Like,
game-
you know, I can
but-
see it being a good
Yeah.
game, but I can also see it being a really bad one, too.
yeah. It
Well, the
all-
way
Yeah, no, I don't know. This is one of those things where I think it depends on the host hosting it, and seeing as hosts aren't really that great these days, I wouldn't count on it being very
I
successful.
think the
unless it-
majority of the hosts, the way it would end up being is everyone gets a poison potion and then no one gets apples, and then
Yeah.
and that just turns into blitz.
I would just make
Yeah,
it so
yeah.
every item is good. No one would use them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe have it like automated, like random, you know,
Yeah. I would like to see it hosted though, just to see how it plays
Yeah.
out.
just to see how it works. Yeah.
It's
It's kind
probably
of a game
really
mode you might
hard
want
to
to host
automate.
once.
I don't know. We get back to the same old problem, don't we? No one's gonna
Yeah,
script and
yeah.
host it.
Well, I want to.
Okay.
Like,
So
I mean, yeah. Okay.
that wraps up the scenarios for the past weeks. Now we're on
Yeah.
to videos.
Nice.
Take it away, Sep.
Oh dear.
This
How to mole.
video.
He's by Hollymatman. He's
Yeah,
Greatest
Ah,
mole.
He's
I
playing.
think it
He's
might
playing
I
a
be-
mole
I haven't
game.
seen it,
I
but
think it might
Oh,
be
you didn't
like
say it.
my
I've heard about
favorite
it.
UHC
Yeah.
He does well in a mole game.
So he's playing a
And-
mole game with a couple teammates, and they're just in the cave gearing up and stuff. And at one point, Dan's asks Holly for the diamonds, and Holly, being the very smart guy he is, throws the diamonds and then accidentally throws blaze spawner eggs at Dan's, giving away that he is the mole. And hilarity ensues as Holly tries to run away while everyone starts chasing him.
And then he lava buckets himself
Yeah,
by
it's
accident.
just all
It's
around.
hilarious.
And he
chaos.
places TNT all around himself in an effort to try and kill
Blows up his
someone.
stuff.
And he blows it up, and he can't get out, and he just ends up blowing himself up.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
My favorite UHC video, I think.
Definitely
Well-
one of the better ones.
Yeah.
You haven't seen
Yeah, I
it. It's
think
all
there's
over,
better
obviously.
Actually, do you guys remember that old Delkick video where he got
Oh.
hit by his own portal?
Yeah, that was in
Oh,
my
yeah.
game. That was in my game.
my
I remember
God.
that.
That was so
amazing.
That was
Like, I was
amazing.
spectating, and then I saw a portal just spawn on Dell, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? Like, It was crazy. I mean, I think that's the best kill that anyone has ever gotten in a UHC. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was actually triggered by Spectator 2. So it's like also the first time a Spectator legit killed someone in a UHC. It was just amazing. I think we should link that in the description.
1 month for op abuse.
1 month for op abuse.
The op was.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't quite remember, but
I know who it
yeah,
is.
it was pretty great.
Okay, so next video is
So
Squattamelon's...
the next one is okay. The ultra hardcore trailer by Squattamelon. I've seen this one. I like it. It's kind of like a montage type thing, but my issue with it is the voiceover. I think it would be much better if it just kind of left the captions open,
Yeah, I
or
think
if you had some professional like voice, you know. But yeah,
yeah, I think the point of this was to be like some sort of...
He should have got a voice like mine.
I think the whole point of this was to have like some sort of like channel trailer, you know, for people with YouTube channels, how they have a video that, you know, it's like a intro to their channel. I think that's what he was trying to do for this, is just introduce the game mode and all the cool things that have happened over the years.
Yeah, but I think it applies to anyone. Like,
yeah,
the game mode as a
It's
whole.
good.
But,
I did have a couple problems with it, but he did a really good job.
yeah.
I think you can tell I put a lot of effort into it, and so for that, you know, it's definitely worth a pat on the
Notable,
back or
definitely
something.
notable.
No, that very.
Community montage by Big Pipe Hero 98.
This one's nice.
Yeah, this one was nice. I liked it because I think if I remember correctly, he tried to get as many people as possible to submit clips, and then he made a montage out of it, and I think it works really well because all the clips, like if you're using a bunch of people, the clips are generally higher quality.
Yeah.
So,
The thing I really liked about this montage is it's like all about people like killing each other and like having like the best kills on here.
Yeah.
And then the first clip is me getting wrecked by dibs.
you always get wrecked by. I mean, what?
I'm also in the thumbnail.
Oh, a wild raven.
A wild raven appeared from his tower.
Oh, look who came down from their tower.
This is our
Hello.
We just kicked him out of the podcast.
It's been so long,
Yeah.
man. You feel a little bit dizzy.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome
Okay.
back.
Okay, I'm going into rant mode about this next video. KOKeowner's trap.
Oh my
Still
god,
pet
this was
and still large.
amazing.
It was amazing. He set a trap and stuff, and it was super cool. But I have one issue with this.
You didn't get any credit for it though.
No, yeah, that's my issue. Okay. So like 2 months ago, I made one of these traps, and I got a kill, and it was like super amazing. But nobody saw the video because it was like nobody cares about me. But anyway, so then I teach MP this trap, right? And then MP makes a video on it for some dumb reason. Okay, so I stopped using this trap for a while, and then KOK gets like 10 kills in 10 games with this trap. And everybody's freaking out like it's some big thing, and I came up with it. It's like, what the fuck? I made it.
Actually, if you go to my channel.
Wait, what about boys?
If you go to my channel, look around 6 or 7 months ago. I have a video called Watch Out, and it's a video of me going up to a chest, opening it, and getting blown up.
Oh yeah, I watched.
Oh, no.
Wrecked.
Dude, I saw like 5 perspectives of this
Oh my
Kyoki
God.
thing. It was amazing.
Yeah, a bunch of people uploaded it. I'm gonna give a shout out to Scope because he was trying to discredit everyone by saying that he knew it was a trap, but he did it anyway, which is fine and all, but it was a great video nonetheless.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I love how Scope. I love how Engel blew up right away, but Scope flew into the air, and
Yeah,
he just
it's like-
fell.
Oh, yeah,
Some
he-
sort of cartoon.
Yeah,
He
Nicole
went
told
up.
me that he took off his armor while he was flying.
Really?
So I just want to point this out that if I was to be in the sky when that happened, Scope probably could have landed on my tower. I'm just saying, because
What an
if you
entrance.
if you look in the video, he goes like 60 to 70 blocks up in the air. Like he went quite a ways. So
I love how it doesn't kill him, but it launches him. He dies because of the fall. Something
Yeah.
about that just makes my day, you know? Like,
I love how he goes like off camera.
Yeah, he goes off the screen. Then like 3 seconds later, he's coming down.
Dude, the freak out that happened when all the spectators saw that.
yeah.
That was
Pretty
beautiful.
great.
It's the first time I saw that video. Thanks, guys.
So yeah, Shadow, you want to move us on to the next section?
Yeah. So we're going to the recorded round section, and the first recorded round we're going to be talking about is Hilt and Quiver. It was hosted by Kelt78 with the help of Ingal and Bobster. And the season was vanilla random teams of 4, and we got one of the participants here with us, TommySX.
That's me.
Hey, Tommy, what are
He
your
was
thoughts
from
on
the
this?
team TommySX.
Yeah, Team Tommy sucks. Not like as soon as the game starts, just ask, "All right, guys, team name, listens." Tommy sucks.
I love this.
That was great.
I have to confess something. I haven't seen this recorded round, but I'm sure it's great.
I
Basically,
saw a little bit of Tommy's video, but I got bored. Oh crap! He's in.
I'm not gonna lie, man. As of right now, you haven't missed much from my perspective, because all that happened was in the most recent episode, I got fucked by Zero. But
In the
other
butt.
than that, I mean, it's been a pretty good season so far. It lasted a long time until people died, up until the episode just came out, and then there was a lot. I think there was like 10 deaths in this episode.
Oh
so,
my god.
Okay,
That was
okay.
a lot.
I have a question for you. On a scale
Yeah.
of When Miners Cried season 9 to Total Recall season 1, where would you rate it?
I don't think it was the greatest. Like, I don't think it's like a ridiculously amazing, but I think this was definitely a really good recorded round and one worth watching till the end.
Are you saying season 9 was the worst?
No,
Total
it was,
Recall was below the scale.
I'm
It's
saying
not even on the scale.
I'm saying Total Recall was one of the finer art pieces I've seen in quite a few lifetimes.
Can't
I
wait for
thought
season 2.
Yeah.
Phobia would be up there. You know, I thought that was a
Phobia
pretty good
season
round.
1 was pretty good, but I think season 2 is going to be better. Just
In all
saying.
fairness, it's not really Total Recall. I mean,
Yeah, it's not at Total Recall level
Yeah.
yet.
you
You
can
know,
only dream.
Like, yeah. You know, it's just amazing. Okay, so the other recorded round on the list is The Sauce, season 1. I have no idea what this is.
It's the salt and pepper,
Yeah,
man.
So it's Zarky's recorded round with the help of Eli. And I guess the whole sadly I was supposed to be on it, but I missed it.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Yeah. I guess the premise of this is just to bring some friends together and do a small recorded round.
You know, the thing I really love about this is just the intro that Bernie made. That's
Yeah,
the
the intro's
best
beautiful.
intro I think I've ever seen.
It was funny because we were actually going to make a really nice intro, and Learning just linked that one day. It's like, look what I made, and everyone's like, yeah, let's just use that instead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is the best intro I've ever seen in a recorded round. He did a hilarious job.
I think for this record round, if they did like another team of 2, they should do like Assault and Battery or something for a game.
Oh yeah, every season's gonna be like a different seasoning.
Yeah, I want.
You know what they should have done? They should have like made season 1 Assault and Battery, because
That's what I just said.
assault. Get it.
Wow,
Assault.
just stop. Shout out, I really hate you.
And I don't know
just-
if you noticed, but it's called Seasoning 1,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Season.
Yeah.
Oh,
As soon as I saw Learning's intro video, I was like, alright, either this is gonna be the biggest circle jerk I've seen in my life, or it's gonna
No,
be the greatest recorded round ever, and...
The biggest circle jerk is the gold cap.
well, yeah, the gold
Yeah.
cap.
That's what I thought it was gonna be.
but
Like.
I
Yeah, I
think
thought it was gonna be like...
what I love about this round, like I haven't seen it, but what I hear is it's like a recorded round that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's like something that I think we need more. You know, like
Yeah, like do it for the
There's something
entertainment and not
amazing
for the
about it.
competition.
yeah, exactly. Like
Exactly.
I think that's kind of the spirit of Minecraft Let's Play. You know, you
Yep.
you do something for entertainment, not to win or whatnot. You know, so
And
so yeah.
for its 6th season, Draftcrafters Ultra Hardcore Season 6 has started a couple days ago.
I'm waiting until this season ends until I watch it, but I always enjoy the Draftcrafters rounds. I don't know why. They just seem to be like one of the better rounds on the Reddit. So
Season 5 was
yeah, it's
best.
going to be interesting seeing how it plays out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Draftcrafters, but that one season where the guy built the trap.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
Draft
yeah,
Season
yeah.
5.
Yeah, that was.
Season,
Oh my god, that was
Belgium.
amazing. that got me hooked on Draftcrafters. I
Gosh,
think.
that's it.
Like,
That was just.
Like you can make TNT traps, and those are fine. But when
Yeah.
you make a trap like that, you're just the best
Hey,
person.
I don't mean to brag.
guess
I
you could
don't.
say
I
you're
don't
a
mean to brag,
nutcase.
but there's a video on my channel of me getting a kill with this. So
Nice.
I think I'm a pretty big deal.
Sep's just taking credit for everything.
I am. I'm the original.
Why don't we just
hipster.
let you run Draftcrafters, man?
Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should run.
Have to make a new record
everything.
round, the trap recorder round. That's the only way you can kill people.
Total
well,
draft call?
So,
The trap call.
Mr. Kididster's sound is corrupted, but he says expect a montage, so hype for that.
Oh boy.
a montage show.
One
Cool.
last thing on that. The intros are amazing, and the main intro was great in its 8-bit theme. And then I don't know if any of you have seen Scottish's alternate intro, which is everyone got like pixel art and used a different song, which was just so upbeat, and I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, check it out.
It's cool.
Alright,
So yeah.
All right, we're getting to the drama part.
my favorite.
Oh boy.
Just kidding. So we got the courtroom cases. So I guess there really hasn't been that much controversy in the courtroom as of late. We have D4, who sadly recorded himself X-raying and got put on the UBL.
Speaking of
One of-
recording himself getting X-rayed and getting put on the UBL,
Okay.
I was hoping someone would take my segue.
I don't know what
and
you're
make
referring
something
to.
up. Voice.
But did he
Well,
record? He
boy-
didn't record himself, did he?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I do think he wanted to get banned. Both of these cases are people who just kind of wanted to quit or take a break, and they just did it to get out, you know?
Yeah.
But that's from what I...
I got an anonymous tip from someone saying that he did it as an experiment to see which committee members were biased, apparently.
That's
Oh.
smart, I think, ish, in a way. Stupid,
think-
but smart.
I don't think it's like if he wanted to I don't know. Never mind.
Shut up,
Yeah,
you're
I
so
think-
biased.
If that is true that
Yeah,
he
it's
wanted to
biased.
see if the courtroom was biased, it probably is going to blow up in his face when he gets banned for 2 months, so
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna
I guess
say.
people will just kind of shrug it off when it's over, but for now, it's just kind of confusing with what's going on.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
mean,
think you
bias
should do that just for an experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, bias is such a like it's like a buzzword. People just use it just to kind of gather support. Since honestly, everybody has biases. Biases are just part of the human psyche, and people who just like talk about bias like it's some sort of like
Disease.
evil monster
They're
corrupting
biased
force.
about bias.
Yeah, they're biased about bias. That's actually perfect.
It seems
because
like they're just trying to
people-
discredit people by calling them biased.
Yeah, and that's actually a bias, I think. The name escapes me, but there's this one bias where people try to pick apart things negatively instead of positively. Like they focus on the negatives of stuff instead of the positives, and that's exactly what this is. It's kind of disheartening to see somebody to see people just try to discredit people for little to no reason other than being human. You know, like I don't know. It just bothers me somehow.
Yep.
No, maybe you bother me, Sep. I think you're really just terrible in everything you do, and I hope you never do anything again because all you ever do is bad
That's
things.
completely rude. But also,
Yeah.
You have Exit Online accidentally recording himself F3 and uploading it.
I'm Fazzy's friend, but he's retarded.
In all fairness, it was a
Whoa.
pretty good fight. I mean, UBL, YouTube fame, pretty worth.
Yeah.
I just
So
think it's
what's
funny
the
when
difference?
stuff like that happens, because that's happened before, of people just recording themselves and then getting in trouble for it.
Yeah.
It, like, the one thing I just find ridiculous about this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but he's blaming the fact that he's F3 and Aing on him being colorblind.
Yeah,
What?
I don't really get how the logic adds up. You know, because even if you hit F3 and A, you're still colorblind, but
He's just
Maybe he's,
hoping
like, refreshing
one of
his-
these times
his
it'll fix my
eyesight.
color blindness.
He's just reloading his eyesight, guys.
Just reloading his eyesight. Man, where's the F3A key when I'm trying to read a book, you know?
Why can't I reload my eyes? Okay, sorry.
okay, that's slightly
We're going a
offensive.
little hard on him.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a game, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone has their dumb moments. He just
Yeah,
exactly.
happened to record his.
Yeah.
Well, you say there hasn't been too much controversy in the courtroom as of late, but there has been a little bit of discussion about DDoS threats and how they should be handled. Because there's a big difference between making an empty threat and actually trying to act upon it, and that's basically what we're trying to work out.
Yeah, but let's see.
Okay, can I?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I God, this is. We need to have a
I made a speaking order for the specific reason.
You don't follow that.
Yeah.
We're lazy, and sometimes you think something and then you want to interject. But anyway, what I think about this is so people make empty threats all the time when they're mad or whatnot. Honestly, I don't think those are the kind of people you want in the community. But regardless, we can't really punish them for it because it's such a common thing. So I think that should be like a very, very mild punishment, like 2 weeks.
Yep, that's what I thought it should be.
And then for stuff that has implied like actually trying to act on it, then you should add a little bit to it, like maybe a month, or 2 months, 3 months maybe, and then actually doing it would be 6 months. That way you have a nice sliding scale, so it encourages people not to follow through on the threats, you know? If they're
that sounds about right.
Why not?
There's definitely 3 categories of the whole concept of DDoSing. I think the 2 that are definitely should have a punishment is attempting to do it. I'm sorry.
Attempting to
So yeah, when they attempt to DDoS, it's like the Smelly King case, that he's going out of his way to DDoS, and then
can you not pronounce it? Or?
I'm doing it on purpose just now.
Oh, okay.
And then you have when you actually DDoS. But the hard part about that is you really don't know who did it. And I think that is where the threats should come into play, like the empty threats. If someone threatens to DDoS you and then you get DDoS, I think that's a valid claim to punish the guy who threatened to DDoS. But I don't think threatening alone should be punishable, because you're not really affecting anything, and most of the times people say that is just a moment of rage. And they're not really thinking through.
It does affect something, because when it gets on the courtroom, it's basically wasting people on the courtroom's time when they just see an empty threat.
Well, that's when you just say there has to be more evidence to post this.
Yeah.
I don't think the courtroom has to post every single report.
Well, actually, the reason the courtroom became a thing, is because we felt like having everything closed and having evidence redacted so people can't see if they're being biased. I'm saying it biased, I know, but so people just in case they know what we're doing and we're not messing with evidence or whatever, tampering. And I think withholding any evidence whatsoever is kind of giving people leeway to think that we're not being totally transparent because, we don't like this guy, then maybe we should submit his evidence and not this other guy who we do like, I don't know.
Well,
I think we should submit everything that
we
have.
I think it depends on if they're actually breaking a rule. I don't know if this is a good example, but if you're in real life, if you try to incriminate someone for something that is not punishable, it's not like they're going to have a court case about it. It's just going to get dismissed. And I think you should have. I think the committee should have that opportunity to be well, this is not necessarily breaking any of the rules. Feel free to include this in a future report if it escalates.
I think
but here's the thing. I mean, okay, I'm just coming up with a scenario. Okay, so you're someone who submits a report and you think, and it's of a well-liked guy, say, and you think that this is cheating, but the courtroom doesn't see it the way you do, and then the courtroom refuses to post it. But the guy that submitted it thinks that you're withholding it just because it's a guy that's well-liked and is likely friends with people on the committee. And I think leaving it like kind of semi-closed like that just leaves it open to discrepancies like that. You know, like you want people to trust the courtroom. That's, I think, the top priority.
For things like X-raying and stuff, I agree. But for things like DDoS threats, like once the actual guidelines come into play, if a threat is not punishable and a report for a threat is submitted, you could say like this is not breaking the rules. If they do break the rules in the future, you can include this evidence. Like,
yeah, but I mean, again, people, that leaves it open to people being like, instead of seeing it for as it is, they see it for as they want to see it, and they see it as people not posting evidence just because they like the guy. Like, I mean, I don't want people thinking things and not trusting us because we did something that isn't, you know, like favorable, or they can misconstrue as bias, you know? Like, okay, I don't know, it's a tricky topic, but kind of my opinion on it.
I mean, I guess it's fine how it's working right now, so I don't think there's really need to change it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think just if it would be a lot easier if the mindset changed from, you know, assuming that there could be an issue, to just, chances are this guy, it's like when you say, I'm gonna come to your house and punch you in the face. Well, you probably don't know where they live, you don't know where you're talking to, you know. It's like, if someone says they're gonna DDoS you, most of the time it's just an empty threat where they don't know what they're doing. You just have to, it just should be assumed that they don't really know what they're doing and just in blind rage. And
yeah,
that's
when they
said it should be.
And when it comes out that they actually attempted DDoS or did DDoS, then you just be like, well, this guy threatened me before, and look, I got DDoS, so...
And that's when it changes.
Yeah, but I think we should post it anyway, just to document the evidence, just in case people, like yeah, again, that's what the main issue with the old way of doing it was. People would constantly bitch at the committee at the time that we don't see any of the decisions being made, so how are we able to trust you? And I think they should be able to see every decision we make. So yeah, I don't know. I think
I see where you're coming from. Just for the sake of posting everything, just post it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, things should be. It's more for the spirit of the thing. You should just be consistent with that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I think it just depends on how the community sees the committee. Like, if they see, like, well, I think they should be able to filter out empty threats and stuff like that, then I don't see why you shouldn't. But yeah, if people are not okay with that, then there's no point in not
I think we should get the community's consensus on it. I mean, the whole thing is for them, so yeah. I don't know. It's a very complicated discussion, but
yeah, I think we stressed that topic enough. On to discussions.
For hours.
Yep.
These are basically just discussion topics that were posted throughout the weeks, and we just give our points on them.
Alrighty, so the
Peak
first
times.
one is peak times, and the discussion about this was what would be considered a peak time, and
this is related to hosting. And
hosting,
hosting,
what times you can host, what times you can post, hold report posted, and point being, right now I think the peak times are from like 17 UTC to 4 UTC, somewhere around that area, and in this thread the consensus was there should be less time, if anything, between for hosting, or I know Dan said removing the 1 hour ahead rule, which I personally completely agree with. I just think that there are a lot of times when there's no games within the next hour, but you're not allowed to post it.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like the problem with like figuring out what peak times are is really a huge issue, because how do you know what peak times are across the whole year? It's just too much of a hassle. You've
like
got summer, and you've got holidays, and you've got spring breaks, and you've got winter breaks, and you got all these different things that compete with peak times.
And Hanukkah.
And Hanukkah, yes.
Don't forget about Hanukkah.
Oh, and Quake's birthday was Sunday.
Yeah, so
Happy birthday.
I
think
for everyone.
Trying to determine when there are peak times is just overcomplicating things. I think it would be a lot simpler and just more convenient for everyone if you just had it so a game can start every 30 minutes throughout the day. And
I think 15 minutes would be better.
well, here's the
Okay.
thing: if you do it every 30 minutes, you could have a benefit of being a recommended host. You could host in between every 15 minutes as well.
Oh, that's
So
good.
Okay,
yeah, and that would virtually get rid of the 1 hour ahead rule by itself, just because if there's no slot, just put your game there. It's not like you have to worry about someone else posting that slot.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Honestly, I think we need more data on the whole thing to make a wise, informed decision about it.
But that's the thing. It's like what Audicy said. There's no point in putting all this time and effort into just over complicating things when what you just try to do is find times that, generally, like with common sense, you could just think and, okay, well, maybe EU and Americans are all going to be on at this time. Let's probably make that a peak time. Maybe Americans are getting home from school all the time, that's peak time. I think as I have it now is just fine, because when you start thinking about it, it's going to be like, oh, Christmas is then, we got Quake's birthday, which is a national holiday coming up. So, we gotta just not keep those things in mind, and
Yeah, if
just what Audicy said.
If you look at the match calendar right now, it's pretty much just 0s and 30s. So, I mean, I think it would just make sense to just make them like that at this point.
Yeah.
And when you see like a 15 or 45 game, it's like a recommended host game.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
believe,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
and summer is coming up for most people.
Oh
so,
god, this is gonna be hectic.
I think you could have.
yeah, I mean, it's not even going to matter.
You could have, like,
every
two-
time is
two
going to
a
be a peak
slot.
time, Like,
For like the summer, you could make it so like you can have 2 games for every slot.
yeah.
Maybe in the summer it would be 10 minutes instead of 15.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you do that, then you start getting back into the problem where it's like, is there a game starting here or here? But if you
Yeah.
just have set slots throughout the day, you know when a game would start, and you can just
Yeah,
have
yeah.
more games depending on the frequency they're being hosted.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense,
Okay,
yeah.
it does make sense, but at the same time, maybe it only bothers me, but there's this thing where if I don't make it into a game, there's always like a game 15 minutes after, right? Like it's evenly spaced out. So if you don't make it into a game, you can play the next one. Now, if all games open at the same time, then you have to decide which game you want to play, and if you don't make it in, then you'll have to like try joining the next one in half an hour or whatever. Like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
recently, like
wanna
the
do
that. I mean, I
past
guess-
3
I guess
games
it's
I've
just-
tried to join, I haven't been able to. So
yeah.
that's.
I guess
I
it just
just-
depends on
yeah.
how many games are being hosted that day, because looking at it now, there's not really that many 15s, but on like a Saturday, you would have a ton of like 15s and 45s. So maybe
Yeah.
like we could do a thing for the weekends. Anyone can host every 15, but during the weekdays, you can only host every 30.
Yeah.
And then in the summer,
something like
you can
that.
host every 15 anyway. Like, you can do stuff like that. But I think it's important to have set time slots just to keep things simple, and you know when a game can start.
Sure, right, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I honestly don't think it matters all that much in the big scheme of things, because even if your game doesn't fill, the community is large enough that you're going to get some players no matter when you host.
Yeah, in
Like-
the end, it's just convenient.
Yeah.
But it
Like,
could
as
solve-
the
it could
community
solve-
grows,
Yeah, it could solve the problem of growing communities.
yeah, as the community grows, I think need for these rules are going to kind of diminish immensely as people host bigger games and we get more hosts and more players, like I think over time it's just going to kind of fix itself, but in the meantime we kind of have to come up with just slight changes as we go along, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so the next discussion was about scenario posts. Tyler, a couple days ago, or actually over a week ago, made a post about tips on how to like make a proper scenario post so you can get your idea, like, keep it articulated, and just make sure that everyone can understand what you're saying. And I think that was really needed, because the way scenario posts are going now, it's just people are just posting them to post them, and they're not really explaining them, and no one really understands how the game would pan out, and there's just not proper like documentation on the scenario.
Yeah, I think we should, like, I don't know, I don't want to do this, but I think having like a scenario post format.
Yeah, like that'd be perfect.
Yeah, like just a template you can copy and paste, and then just use that. But then again, that's like more bureaucracy and rules. But yeah, I don't know. I think that might be a good idea because we're getting so many scenario posts, and so many of them are so poorly done that I think something does need to be done about it.
Yeah, and I think another idea that was brought up last time we tried this, having a post every week where people could just post their scenario ideas, and the ones that are the most liked will get upvoted to the top, and the ones that are stupid will just get downvoted and possibly hidden.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I think I honestly want to go that way if we do want to regulate this, but yeah, I think I don't know.
I just think
a few options we can consider.
Yeah, having some sort of order for it would definitely be needed, though, because as of now, it's just a cluster.
Yeah, and it just makes the Reddit as a whole seem much more unprofessional, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah. Anyway, on to the next topic. Hidden comment scores.
Yeah, it's just a little thing about the Reddit.
Yeah. I'm just reading it now.
As of now, your comment score is hidden for 24 hours, and then it is public.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't like comment scores at all, or hidden comment scores, because I think when you have a upvote downvote system, it's necessary. It's not necessary, but it definitely helps seeing what other people are saying. Because if a bunch of people are upvoting a comment, you'd be like, oh, well, why is this getting upvoted? And you'll read it and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. And if you agree with it, then you can comment or stuff like that. I think the good points should be upvoted to the top so that people can see the good points and have better discussions about them.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think with Reddit as a whole, you have this sort of hive mind mob mentality type thing, where if one guy upvotes something, some other people will just upvote just because it's something that is well liked by most people, you know? Like I don't know. It's a phenomenon you see in bigger Reddits especially. That's why they introduced this, was because people would just upvote things just because other people upvoted them because they want to fit in or whatever, right? So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a common trend, but I mean, it's not like people know who upvotes or downvotes.
Yeah.
So it's not like you feel obligated because everyone else is doing it, because they're not going to look at you and be like, oh, why did you upvote this? So I think that helps it a little too.
Because I think the Reddit as a whole isn't quite big enough for that to factor in entirely. I can see it in the future being useful, but as of now, it's not active enough. There's this thing where you find a lot of people play the games but don't post on the Reddit, and you have a core community who post on the Reddit often and check it and whatnot. So I think that I think it's not big enough to require comment score hiders or whatever, because there's just not enough people for it to be necessary.
Yeah. And it's way too long if they're not going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Make it an hour or something.
Or
even an hour.
Hour would,
I think the whole point is just so you don't see it right away when the post is made. 24 hours is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I find myself coming back to comments to see when I can check my score, because it's kind of nice to know whether something's accepted. And on that note, I find people there's a lot of specific accounts, mine included, that just seem to get one or two downvotes on everything for some reason.
Yeah, that's been happening to me too. I don't think it's a unique issue.
Yeah. I mean, but it seems to be specific people they're targeting, so maybe this can help curb that.
It's very inconvenient because, like you said, we're not that big of Reddit, so if you get downvoted, it gets buried pretty fast.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like, I mean, I don't want to complain about it, but I mean, it's it's not like I want my comment to be hidden. The whole point of making that comment was so people see it, and if it gets downvoted and hidden right away, then what's the point?
Yeah. And then, of course, it causes strife between people, because people automatically assume people that are notorious for not liking them very much will, mess with it.
So, I have a question. Has everyone's comments here been getting downvoted? Because mine have as well. So I've had -1 on, my past 15 comments now.
I only have one downvote, Stalker, really.
It seems to happen to me in bursts. Mine will go for a week, I won't have downvotes, and then 1 week, everything I post gets downvoted, and it's just it happens, I'll lose a bunch of comment from one instance.
Yeah, it's almost like one guy, who hates everybody, keeps downvoting everybody,
Yeah.
and then gets lazy and then stops and then
Mhm.
just does it. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah. Well, we had this bot fiasco. I think that's when it started actually. When
Yeah,
When-
it does sound,
when
yeah.
this guy posted, like, I guess somebody introduced upvote bots, and then a bunch of people got shadow banned. We talked about this in a previous
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
I think episode 3. So if you go back and watch that, you'll get the full scope of the story.
No, it's
But-
episode 4, but it's not.
Episode
It's
4?
on Shadow's channel.
Okay, yeah, it's on Shadow's channel. It's the least viewed podcast, so you might want to watch it. It gives some good insight on the whole thing. But yeah,
We need more
So-
views.
we need views, yay!
Post to Raven's channel. Get views.
No, Raven, no one likes you.
Josh promoting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think enough has been said about that topic. Okay, onto the questions section. Okay, everyone has asked the question: can I join the podcast?
You paid
the
$20.
answer is yes. The answer is yes. You can join the podcast. And honestly, I think that just about wraps up this episode. It's been about an hour. So
Yep.
so
Good time.
anyone have anything else to say, or can we just?
Are we gonna take donations?
Post before you post.
Yeah,
there
also
was
before you
actually-
post.
There was one thing I wanted to mention because I wasn't here when you guys went over the video topics. Was PanicPixel made a really cool montage for it was I
Yeah,
think it
it's
was 100
100 subs.
subscribers.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
100.
no,
I
that was
think.
Bagpipe.
No.
No, he's talking about
Panic-
PanicPixel. He hit 100
Panic
subs and he
Pixel
made a
made one.
montage of his own videos.
Well,
Yeah,
everybody
it
go
was
watch
on
that
videos.
because he's
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it
was his
it
own
was
videos?
really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really
it was
liked
really
it.
good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I told him about he asked if he could have it on the podcast,
Yeah.
and I told him it was a good video. So yeah, we'd talk
That was a
about
good
it.
video. It deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
So,
We'll put it in the description. I promise.
Yeah. Just put everything in the description. We need to.
The description.
People need to see what we're talking about. But yeah. So I think that just about wraps up the podcast now. So
Sorry
yeah,
for
thank-
joining late.
yeah.
It's fine, Raven.
Learning left early.
Oh yeah,
great
I don't know
to
if you
get
guys
back.
noticed, but learning left right after the intro. So.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
professional.
Please forgive us for not having a podcast last week, and please forgive me for not joining the podcast in the past few weeks. I've been
Dude.
really busy with a new job. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll
Said
see you
this by
guys
Mark
next time.
Crack.
It's been a
Thanks for watching the Audicy
Been a good
Set
episode.
podcast.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye.
See ya.
Have a good night.